Pokémon Pokopia lets you share the game with friends who don't even own their own copy. This works for both Switch 2 and Switch 1, but works a bit differently for each console. In this video, I'll show you how to unlock GameShare, why it's worth getting early, the limitations, and the benefits. The way to unlock it is simple. You first need the Rock Smash ability from Hitmonchan, which you can get pretty early on. Just move this punching bag next to this bench, and he'll shortly spawn and teach you his mean right hook. Once you have this ability, head over to this wall west of the Pokemon Center and smash your way through. Continue in that direction and you'll quickly stumble upon this massive bridge. Use whatever materials you have to connect the bridge and get yourself across. When you try to enter, the game will basically recommend that you be less of an idiot and gain more knowledge before entering, but I'm too dumb to know what that means, so I decided to go anyway. Once through, you're now in Pallet Town, or whatever else you decide to name it. I decided to stick with Pallet Town. However, it looks nothing like Pallet Town from the games nor the show. It's more of a blank slate, 3 islands with nothing built on them for you to be as creative as possible with. If you go up to the Pokemon Center here, navigate to Link Play, then invite others to visit. There will be an added option for GameShare. As of right now, this option is tied to the Pokemon Center in Pallet Town. It does not get added to the other Pokemon Centers. More on that in a bit. Once you select GameShare, you'll have 2 options. Nearby Players lets you play with someone in the same room as you if they have their own Nintendo Switch 1 or 2. No internet is required for this option. The second option via GameChat is only available if everyone involved is on the Switch 2 and it uses the internet. So any of your friends with a Switch 2 can play from the comfort of their own home. For that option, everyone also needs to have Nintendo Switch Online. In both cases, only the host needs to own a copy of the game. Also, one important thing, GameShare is for 2 players only, the host and 1 guest. That being said, there are quite a few limitations with GameShare. Anyone joining the game won't have the same access as the host. In my testing, they weren't able to use the PC, the workbench, storage containers, view Pokemon traces, or access the Lost and Found. Any items the non-host player collects will go to the Lost and Found when they leave the GameShare session. And as I said earlier in the video, GameShare is tied to Pallet Town, so this is not a way to freely play the whole game together. If you want to play together in other areas, your friends will need to own their own copy of the game. The one exception to this is the Dream Islands. Drifloon will take you to the Dream Islands when you interact with any of the Pokemon dolls you can collect through the game. If you place these in Pallet Town and interact with them when you have a GameShare session in progress, you and your companion will both be taken to the desired Dream Island. These islands are filled with valuable resources and can take quite a while to collect them all on your own. So this is a very productive use of GameShare, as you can split up and collect the items twice as fast. Back to the limitations. Another downside with GameShare is that the guest is definitely getting the short end of the stick. The host game will still run fine, but for the person joining, the video quality can drop quite a bit, and there can be some lag and input delay as well. I personally noticed that when I was playing it locally, and my buddy noticed the same thing online when he joined with his Switch 2, even with my internet being quite fast and my Switch 2 is hardwired. So, what can players do when they join your GameShare session? Well, they can pick up items on the ground like rocks, sticks, and fruit from trees. They can also pick up any items that the host drops or places, so they can move furniture around or build their own houses, provided you give them the items that they need. They can also use the Ditto abilities that you've already learned to help with building habitats or to go collect resources from the 3 islands. They can even greet new Pokemon that appear on your island or help out with some of the challenges that you have ongoing on your PC. I personally think that the best use of this feature is having some extra help collecting all the materials spread across the 3 islands, especially the Dream Islands. And it's also nice having someone to build extra stuff while you work on your own, especially since you already have your work cut out for you building up the other areas in the game. And at the end of the day, it's nice to have company to sit down and share a cup of tea with. Also, as a little bonus, unlocking Pallet Town early can help you out even outside of GameShare. You can find some really useful early game Pokemon companions here, like Machop, who has the build ability and can help you construct building kits even when Timber is busy with his own projects, and Caesar, who can help Scyther keep up with your demand for lumber. So even if you don't use GameShare all that much, gaining access to this area early on can still be very beneficial. And even though I think GameShare is a bit lacking and could do with some improvements, I'm still glad they gave us this feature at all. But I'm curious to know what you think. What would you like Nintendo to improve first with GameShare? And until next time, keep on questing.